What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It's your boy, the Squirrel, and today I'm doing What's the Dumbest Thing an American Has Ever Said to You, Part 1. So I know I did the thing before where it was like, what's the thing that made you embarrassed to be an American and whatever, and yeah, that one was okay, but those people, yeah. Anyway, uh, but this is about Americans saying dumb things. So it's another one of those videos where someone asks a question, then you can you stitch it or I don't even know what it is. I don't TikTok, so but whatever it is you do something. Yeah, stitch this. It says stitch this. So you stitch it. So he'll ask the question, then you give the answer, whatever. I mean, let's face it. Basically, for the most part, Americans are egomaniacs. Seriously, it's such big egos over here. We love to talk about ourselves. It's crazy. It's sad, really, and embarrassing. It's not everybody, but it's a good chunk of people over here. So when you ask what's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you, I'm sure that this guy probably got 50,000 of them from Americans just because they want to be on camera. So God bless whoever weeded all that shit out and put this together. Here we go. What's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Part 1.
The dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'm American, but I gotta take this. Also, freshman year of college, my friends and I go up to Canada to have a fun weekend, whatever. We're partying,
So fucking embarrassed right now.
having fun. We don't sleep at all, right? We get to the border. I'm in the backseat, knocked, slumped out. Border Patrol knocks on the window. He's asking everyone questions. He comes to me, looks at my passport. Sir, what's your nationality? I go, Louis Barbosa. He goes, no, sir, what's your nationality? I go, Haitian, Dominican, or Puerto Rican. Choose whichever one. Everyone in the car staring at me like, bro, what are you saying right now? You're about to get us arrested. I'm like, what am I saying wrong, right? Everyone's looking at me. So the Border Patrol tries to dumb it down for me. He goes, sir, where are you from? I go, New York City. He goes, okay, so what's your nationality? So now everyone's staring at me and I'm getting tight. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. He goes, yeah, you're American. Go right through. Yo, son, thank God we wasn't coming back from Mexico.
I'm kind
Okay, so far that might be the dumbest thing I've heard Americans say. That was
of
stupid.
curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'd like to buy this 6-pack of beer, please. Cool, I'll just need to see your ID. Here you go. I can't take that. You can't take my passport? It's not a valid form of ID. You gotta have American ID to buy alcohol in America. It's an American passport. It says my birthplace is Tennessee. You gotta get an American passport to come to America. Everybody knows that. You know that because you have one.
I worked at a bar where the owner didn't want us to take passports as valid IDs to card people. So we had to prove they were 21 years old so they could drink at the bar. And he said, oh, passports are way too easily faked. It's got to be a state ID. And for a while, it was Massachusetts state ID only. This is way back when I was younger, just starting out tending bar. And then he would let us take them from the surrounding states. So ridiculous. But anyway, this is stupid. And she's absolutely right.
That's
But I think she's American. We'll see.
not true at all. If you're such an American, why can't you just give me your driver's license? Because my wallet got stolen.
Well, she's from Tennessee, so yeah. The fuck?
And even if I did have that, you can take a passport. Let me go ask my manager if she'll make an exception. Hi, what seems to be the problem here? Your cashier won't let me use my passport as identification to buy beer. Yeah, you gotta have an American ID to buy alcohol in America. But that's really cool, though. I've never seen a passport before. Where are you from? Here!
I'm kind of curious. What is the
So I'm going to keep track here. So we're 2 for 2. So far, 2 Americans, egos, have answered.
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
One time I was in high school and this girl asked me what I was. I told her I'm Egyptian, my family's from Egypt. She said, no, tell me the truth, where are you really from? I told her I'm not lying, I'm from Egypt. She said, no, you don't understand, Egypt literally doesn't exist. And I was like, no, it actually does. I go there every summer to visit my family. She's like, no, you don't get it. Egypt literally doesn't exist. The US is the world. There's no other country. I said, so what are they teaching us in history then? She said, oh no, those are just stories. Egypt doesn't exist.
Okay, so you're from Egypt, but you go back to visit Egypt, so I'm counting you as American because that's where you're going to school in America, right? So far we're 3 for 3, even though you have a different nationality, residency, 2 different things. That being said, that was friggin' stupid. And that, folks, is a lot of people who are the future. of our world that believe that other countries don't even exist. It's true though. Like I'm amazed sometimes at the stupidity of others. It's not everybody. I'm just saying. Like I'm amazed when stupid things like that happen with people. Here you go. It's a good example. So I'm American. I live here in America, right? And I'm in a store one day, and there's this gentleman standing at the counter, and the owner of the store is Dominican. It's in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people from all different countries, and he speaks multiple languages, but he speaks Spanish pretty fluently and French, I believe, and he speaks English. And this guy's multilingual. And this guy came in, and they're talking in Spanish, and so they're talking, and I'm kind of off to the side. I'm here for different business with this guy. I'm one of his vendors, and some dude comes in, and he's like, the kid's like, oh yeah, he's going on talking in Spanish. I don't understand a word of it, whatever. I just don't know the language. But this guy is like, hey man, he's like, why don't you speak English? And he was like, actually, he speaks Spanish better. So yeah, that's just what I can speak both. So can he. We just prefer to speak in Spanish. What's it to you? No, the guy goes, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from Puerto Rico. And the guy goes, go back to your own country. I leaned over, so I was like, hey, this is his country. The guy's like, you shut up, man. He's all mad. Turned around, walked out of the store. Like, and the guy turns around and looks at me. He's like, thanks, man. He's like, most people so stupid they don't even know that. Right? Yeah. Well, there we go. It's 3-4 if you count my story. Let's move on.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I actually made a video about this a good while back, but I'd say most of you haven't seen it, so I'll just say it again here, considering this is starting to catch on as a trend. So over the summer, I posted a photo of myself at the beach on my Instagram story, just, as you do. And this American replies to the Instagram story. And this is what they said. This is genuinely a word-for-word quote. This is going to sound stupid, but I dead ass didn't know you guys had beaches. So I'm sitting there reading this message thinking to myself, I live on an island. What do you think, surrounds it? But as silly as that message is, that's the message that started my series on TikTok on American people, which has ended up being by far my most successful series. So I have to be forever thankful for it.
If you didn't notice, and maybe you can't see it so small in the thing, but it says hashtag Americans, hashtag TikTok us, or TikTok US probably, and then it says hashtag Northern Ireland, so that's where it's from.
Also, I hope you all have a great day.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Canadian here. Right after I moved to America, I went to the Social Security office so that I could apply for a Social Security number so that I could work in America. I went up to the little kiosk and I punched in that I was applying for my very first Social Security number. And the man who was working there said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're going to want to punch in that you're applying for a replacement card, not a new number." And I said, "No, sir, I don't have a Social Security number. I am applying for the first time." And he said, "And you're an American?" And I said, "No, sir, I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago." And he said this. "Ma'am, I have to say, your English is amazing." Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was going to make the joke that I might counter as an American because Canada and America is so close, but so far it's 3-2. Northern Ireland and Canada representing, and 3 Americans answering the question about their own country. I'm counting the one girl. She's Egypt. She's on my team now.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so I'm Canadian, but I went to elementary and middle school in Florida. During my 7th grade geography class, my teacher was doing a presentation on pollution. She showed a bar graph showing a bunch of different countries and how much they contributed to pollution. As you may expect, US and China was way at the top. But there was a piece of the graph showing how little Canada contributed. Me being a Canadian, I had a moment of pride and said, "Woohoo, Canada." To which my teacher responded, "Yeah, but that's because there aren't any cars in Canada, sweetie." And I said, "No, there are cars. My dad has one. We moved here in one. They have streets and highways and everything." And she said, "Sweetie, those are sleds." My geography teacher.
Dumbest.
Canada. 3-3. fucking teacher. Unbelievable.
Thing an American has ever said to you?
When I was younger, I worked at a hotel as a maid, and I was one day going to clean the bathroom in my sexy maid outfit, and there was a man sitting on the ground drinking the water from the bidet. Oh, he was he like a dog. He's lapping it up. And so I was like, sir, that is a bidet, you must not drink from that. He goes, no, it's very refreshing, it's a fountain. I was like, no, sir, that's a bidet, it goes up your ass. It goes right up your ass. He did not believe me. He said it tasted so good.
Ah, boy. I don't know. I guess it happened. I don't know. This is kind of a weird one for me. I worked at a hotel with a sexy maid outfit. What fucking hotel were you working at? Pardon my French. That's a weird one for me. But Vive la France, it says, is the hashtag. So France, the accent gave it away. She sounded like someone making fun of a French accent. Unfortunately, that's what it sounded like to me. This was weird. Whatever. She's French, and she saw a guy drink out of the toilet, so she gets a point for not being an egotistical American.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so I'm from Indiana. I'm from the Midwest. Temporarily, though, I used to live in Los Angeles before moving out to the East Coast.
Who cares? So you moved from one part of America to the other. Okay, continue.
So one day I was in LA and I was like, okay, I want to change banks. I no longer wanted to be with the bank I was currently with. So I go in and I went to the teller and I was like, hey, I just want to close my account if that's okay. They're like, yeah, no problem. And I go, perfect. They're like, can we see your ID? I said, yeah. Hand them my ID and they're like, I'm so sorry. Do you have a United States ID? That's just what we're going to need to go ahead and confirm. I said, that is my Indiana ID. This is my driver's license. I'm from Indiana. And they said, no, I'm so sorry, but this is not a United States ID. Do you have any other form of ID? They're like, this says Indiana. I go, I know. Indiana is a state. I'm from Indiana. And they said, no, I need to see a United States ID. And I was just like, I'm sorry. What is our education system?
So another American telling us silly, dumb story. It probably happened. I mean, there's enough dumb people in every country. You know, you got to run into a dumb one once in a while. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this is part of our country here. What is this? Indiana. So that's, where is that? It's on the other side of the world somewhere, right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for tying up the score.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I'm Swiss and Luxembourgish, but I went to the States
Luxembourgish
for university, more specifically Los Angeles. So I have so many of these because,
of course, because you're in California. Hi, Dorito.
People are fucking stupid out there. At least every 2 weeks I'd get asked if I spoke Swedish because I was from Switzerland. Classic. But then every now and then I'd just be like, fuck it, I might try and say I'm from Luxembourg. Every time I said I'm from Luxembourg, it would be, so where in the UK is that? Where? Oh, no, it's not in the UK. But, okay, where in Germany? Sorry, my bad. Not in Germany. Somewhere else. I don't know where Luxembourg is. Which country is it? It is its own fucking country. I know we're small, but we're important too, you fucking bitch.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Yeah, 5-4 anyway. But yeah, that was funny though. How he was like, everybody's dumb, and then the Swedish thing was great.
So I know I'm American, but I'm going to get in on this. I was staying at a hotel on the Strip in Vegas, and I was in the little convenience store just trying to buy a Diet Coke, and the couple in front of me that were from Australia were trying to just buy a pack of cigarettes. And after about 5 attempts, I knew the lady behind the register was never going to understand them. So I offered to them, do you want me to translate for you? And they were like, we're speaking English. And I was like, yeah, I know that. You know that. She doesn't know that. So they were like, yeah, fine. And so I translated for them. And then after they got their cigarettes, they kind of laughed and were like, thanks. And so when I was ordering my Diet Coke, she was like, that would have been so much easier if they spoke English. And I was like, yeah, they're from Australia. They were speaking English. And she goes, they don't speak English there. And I was like, don't ask. What do you think they speak there? And she goes, Australia in ish ease. The fuck?
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
First day of college, psychology class. I meet this girl called Shannon. Shannon. She asks me where I'm from. I say Switzerland. She says, Sweden. I just said Switzerland. She's like, it's because you're blonde, right? Fuck it, I'm just gonna play along. Yes, Shannon. Then you can see her trying to relate, but she was probably lying because she had no clue what she was talking about. So Shannon goes, I love Europe. I was in Germany this summer, and it was so nice to see all the history. I'm like, let's call her out. What history, Shannon? I mean, with all the concentration camps and all where the Jews died. I'm like, Shannon, the camps are in Poland. No, but what I meant to say is that I went where Hitler was born. Shannon, Hitler's Austrian. She got so mad. She goes, stop, I'm gonna jump out the window, okay? Shannon, you live on the ground floor. Let me take you to the fucking 7th floor.
I'm kind of curious.
That guy's funny. See, so far I've seen 11 TikTokers, and only one of them has been interesting in any way, really. Oh no, both the Swedish guys. Seriously, the Americans have all been boring, including the last one, who was, I guess, a comedian. Not very. I mean, not that it was a comedy bit. It was just a story, but I didn't think the story was like whatever. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. But yeah, we're at 6 versus 5 so far. 5 Americans. Here's what I hate about TikTok. TikTok is just it's just lazy. Like, to me, TikTok is just lazy American just throwing anything at the wall and seeing if it sticks. And it's sloppy, and they just can't get out of their own ways to love themselves, and half of them are unbearable.
Curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Here's one of mine.
How much time you got, motherfucker? I could do this shit all day. I'm going to Florida. Oh, really? Are you driving? Are you flying? I drove and it took me 17 hours. 17 hours? How many days is that? I want to visit Europe. Oh, really? What countries are you visiting? Oh, you know, the basics. No, I don't know. There's no tutorial to visiting countries. Do you mean Italy, France, Spain, Portugal? Stop it. Portugal's not in Europe. It is. However, let's pull up a map. That way we know what countries you would like to visit. Okay, now looking at this map, where would you go? I would go to the Netherlands because it's next to Amsterdam. It is the capital city of the Netherlands. We are looking at a map, god damn it.
What's a piece?
That guy's American, by the way. It's amazing. This is exactly why I'm doing the 195 anthems from every country around the world over on the other side of the squirrel, because I am not that good at knowing where the crap everything's at. And when I look each one up, I get to tell what continent they're on, where in the continent, and all that. I'm loving it, you know?
Piece of information that you learned that feels illegal.
Hold on, let me skip ahead to the previous video. What the fuck? So literally the entire half of that video, I was thinking it was gonna be like a 16-minute video, like almost the entire second half. It's all just in the previous video bullshit. Why? Just to add stretch time and more ads. That's why. Maybe I should add an extra 20 minutes on the end of this video. No. Anyways, so we ended up 6-6. 6-6. That I really thought that they were just going to edit out the Americans. I'm serious. I'm just fed up with people. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and I try to love everybody, but I really get sick of just knowing we're just predictable. People from my country are predictable. I know what they're going to do. We all know what they're going to do. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm so mad that half the people in this video about the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you are American. All 6 of those people off the Christmas card list. Scroll up.